Hi, I'm Dr. Shinshuri, and I'm out here in downtown Sacramento right now and taking a nice little stroll for the afternoon. But I had something that crossed my mind as I was walking, and that was to do the next episode, this episode, to talk about, are you ready to do good and make money in your nonprofit? Or if you're a for-profit, how can you do that and benefit others while you're doing what you do in your work? And also, if you're a sole proprietor, how can you make a difference in the community? Well, I've got an exciting way in which we've been doing it with many nonprofits, for-profits, and sole proprietors right here in Sacramento. I'm excited to share a little bit more about what we do. And it's four simple steps that you can take in order to make a difference in the lives of every person you touch, with every business associate you work with, and also with every political leader or even executive leaders of different agencies that you might work with in the community. And what I'm talking about is business philanthropy. It is a huge technology that we have built in order to make it possible for anyone to do good while making money in the community as a nonprofit. Now, you might be wondering, Dr. Shinshuri, how can we do that? Nonprofits can't make money. No. Let me help you understand. Nonprofits can make money. What nonprofits can't do is nonprofits, there's a train there, as you can see, nonprofits can make money. But what they can't do is generate a profit and issue dividends to their shareholders or to their founders or to executive directors, because it is not a for-profit. But they can make money and they can generate a surplus. A surplus allows them to do more, to create sustainability and put that money back into the organization so they can develop, grow, and thrive. I'm excited about what I'm going to show you today, because what I'm going to show you is quite unique. It's not anything new that you haven't seen before or probably heard about, but we present it to you in a new way, in a way that is going to help you get a rewarding benefit from being a part of the community that we've created right here at Oracles of Truth Academy. So I'm excited today because Sacramento is on the verge of something great, and we're going to be a part of a community, and we're going to allow that to go perpetuate in perpetuity throughout the state and to other states in the U.S. And our intent is to make it global, so that it's not just something that we're talking about here in the United States, but it's also something that we're able to do to support communities all over the world. This is Business Philanthropy. Sprint to validate, pace to sustainability. Hi, I'm Dr. Shinshuri. I'm a business philanthropist. Philanthropy is my business. In this episode of Business Philanthropy, BP, I'll be reviewing my free guidebook, 4 Simple Steps to Grow Your Business and Make a Social Impact. You might be wondering, what is BP? Well, if you're new to BP, I recommend you take time to watch the first episode, Business Philanthropy, a hybrid approach for social entrepreneurs. Then come back to this video and we'll continue. Are you back? Good. I have a question for you before we get started. Are you ready to do good and make money? That's what this episode is all about. For starters, do you have an idea for a business and need a simple and fast way to develop and grow it? Maybe you have an existing business and are thinking about expanding it, but you don't know how. Or you could be facing a cash flow problem and you need one or more ways to increase revenue fast. With BP, you can do all those things and more. Imagine launching a new product, program, or service in 30 or 90 days to generate sustainable revenue, or opening a new business in 1 year or less. It is possible with BP technology. Business, for-profit. Philanthropy, nonprofit. Two sides of the same coin. This is business philanthropy. It's the best of both sectors. Stages of business growth. When starting a business from ground zero, there are multiple stages of growth to achieve sustainability. The first two stages are conceptual and pre-seed, as you can see here, followed by seed, startup, and series funding. 5 stages total. The progress can be slow when there is limited financial resources. Slow but steady, like growing from being a baby to an adult. Banks won't even talk with you at a fledgling state unless you already have some cash flow. And that brings me to funding groups. These stages are grouped by conceptual and fast-track funding. Steady progress from multiple sources begins with the founders, their friends, and family. Founders can draw interest from others to secure funding, like private investment firms or individual angel investors. Series A, B, and C funding is generally reserved for mature businesses that are ready for a public offering. I have a question for you related to how businesses pass through these multiple stages of business growth. You need to be thinking about, because it's important to consider a couple of questions. And those questions include 1, what is the current stage of the business? And 2, are you a sole proprietor, single member LLC, nonprofit, or for-profit? Regardless of your tax structure, you now have the option to build a hybrid business and implement dual operations using BP technology. Steps to sustainability. To achieve sustainability requires 4 simple steps. 1, identify business needs. The first thing you will need to do is conduct a needs assessment to identify gaps in the business. Then you can work on addressing the needs. 2, plan and revise the business plan. It will be based on the needs you identified. It is a living document, so you will want to update it on a regular basis. 3, develop intellectual properties. For example, products, programs, and services that you create or produce, or you can use existing products, programs, and services on the market. 4, launch, operate, and increase funding. For example, this can be achieved through revenue generation, sales, raising capital, and donations based on the type of tax structure that you have. This process is an Olympic experience, a non-competitive roadmap to your success. It begins at ground zero and continues with the 90-day sprint, progresses via Pace to Success, and concludes with the Social Learning Fund. There are multiple checkpoints throughout, including a practice pitch to help you course correct before implementation, and funding pitch or financial opportunities to ensure sustainability. These 4 simple steps are all you need to accelerate and launch a product, program, service, new business, or expand and grow an existing one. You can use BP technology to build a single hybrid business with dual operations. This means the business engages in for-profit and nonprofit transactions. I'm doing it in my business, and you can too. Let's discuss how quickly you can go from ground zero to accelerated success using these 4 steps. Your unique journey. The journey includes completing at least 3 of the 4 steps depending on your business or professional goals. Path 1 for new conceptual businesses, mentors, and coaches, or business goals. Path 2 for existing businesses. Let's discuss each step again briefly. Step 1, identify needs or gaps. Step 2, plan and complete the 90-day sprint. Step 3, pace to success while developing a new product, program, or service using BP Olympics. And step 4, access the Social Learning Fund to generate sustainable income streams. Social entrepreneurs can achieve sustainability fast within a year. BP technology solves 5 common problems in any business. 1. Gives solo entrepreneur syndrome the boot while building a team and capacity. 2. Receive technical assistance, training, and certification. 3. Leverage infrastructure and systems and avoid duplication. Work smarter, not harder. 4. Access agile business operations development, ABOD services whenever you need it. And 5. Generate multiple income streams and achieve sustainability. Step 1. Step 1 is an assessment to identify your professional or business needs. You'll complete a needs assessment before starting your BP journey. You'll use the data from the assessment to map your current state and future state. You'll also create an action plan for yourself and or the business. And then you'll use the plan to develop and launch the business or achieve your professional goals. It begins with scheduling a free consultation or attending a free workshop. I or my team will ask detailed questions about you or the business. 1 or 2 example questions might be, are you a sole proprietor, single member LLC, nonprofit or for-profit? And have you ever thought about using your passion to do good in the community by helping others and receive a financial return for your largesse? These are just a couple of sample questions we might ask you. Let's look at a completed BP needs assessment for an existing client to give you a better idea of what the assessment is all about. Okay, so with my browser queued up, I can actually go into the URL address bar and type in businessphilanthropist.com and go straight to the website. And this is where I'm going to demonstrate how to access the Business Philanthropist Needs Assessment in order to take the assessment and get a current state results back based on you answering the questions. The purpose of this assessment is to make sure that every social entrepreneur looks at the current state of the business before making decisions about moving forward to assess the business in terms of the future state and where they want to be in terms of getting access to social learning funds to develop, grow, and thrive in the community by accessing those social learning funds that will be key income streams to support the sustainability of the business. So with that being said, I'm going to come here and I'm going to log in. So I'm already on the site. Next thing we do is we log in because you have to be a member to access resources that are part of your membership. In this particular case, typically, as I'm typing in my user ID and my password, which I thought I already had it pasted. Let me grab the password here. And I'm going to paste it in, hit I'm not a robot, and hit login. Okay, so I get logged in. Once it logs in, it's going to put me on my dashboard landing page where I can see my membership. I'm now a member. I'm logged in. I can see all the member learning resources. And what I would want to do here is scroll down to analytics, and right here where it says BP needs assessment, that is the online assessment that you're going to complete after you've completed your first workshop. So you could have attended a free webinar related to business philanthropy or a social learning fund webinar in the community. And then afterwards, you would have been given the link or a QR code to actually access the form. So when you come here, you can log in if you're already a member, and you can go straight to your dashboard here and actually access it from here. So the purpose of this assessment is really to make sure that you are able to complete this assessment, and you'll complete it the first time for your current state. Then after you've completed the first time and you got results and have done a one-on-one, you will meet with your business philanthropist or your certified business philanthropist, and they will actually work with you to see what your future state would be based on funding that you might need and what you need to do to prepare to get access to those fundings. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is read the instructions. It only take you about 5 to 10 minutes to do it, and then you would answer the questions one by one as you complete out the form. So you would complete out your business details, your contact information details, and then you are going to rate yourself 1, 2, or 3. Strongly needed, somewhat needed, not needed. So you would select strongly needed if the capability is unavailable in the business. You would select 1. And 2, you would select if it's somewhat needed, meaning that the capability is partially available, like it's not complete, but it's somewhat there. You're thinking about it, you've been planning it, but it's not finalized. And then the 3 would be selected if you don't need it at all. That means the capability is available. There's nothing else to be done for you to actually do it. So you would enter in your information, like you do your date, your name, and all of these things. Okay. And once you enter this in, you would follow the instructions on the form to actually enter your business name. And I'm going to just type in Oracles of Truth Academy here, just to kind of go through this website. Yes, we do have a website. I'm going to type in the URL of the website, oraclesoftruth.org. And a phone number would be 279. There it is. It's coming up. And then the email address, I put my email address in. It's populating. And then I want to do current or future state. Then hit next. So we hit the next button. It takes us on to the next thing, the next part of the form. So I'm going to enter in some business detail. I'm not going to complete the whole thing, but I'm just we're a nonprofit. It is a 501c3. So there's 29 different types of nonprofits. So you want to put the number in that it is. And then we are somewhat mature. If you're a conceptual business, then you would actually, for the stage of development, you would say conceptual idea, or pre-seed, seed, or startup. But we're somewhat mature, so I would say mature here. Do you plan to set up a hybrid tax structure for the business? I would normally say no, because we're a nonprofit, but we do want to infuse business philanthropy in here. So which tax structure have you selected? I say not needed, but if you're undecided, you can say undecided, or you can select the one you think you are going to utilize if you're going to convert to one of these tax structures. You can stay with your existing tax structure, but we want to make sure that you understand that there is an option to convert if you so desire. So with that being said, we're going to go on, hit the next button. We're going to enter in some demographic information. I'm female. I'm not Hispanic, but I am mixed race, so I'm going to say mixed, more than one race. Okay, and then I'm going to go next. Looking at me, you might not know that, but I am a mixed race. Now, under here, when we get to the identify step, this is the first step in the BP technology program. So you've got the identify step. So you would start answering these questions and fill out everything with the red asterisk. I'm not going to complete all of this. I'm just going to start selecting. So we do have a social purpose / need for the business, and it's clearly defined. We also have the vision and mission statement. We do have some gaps in the business, but it's not completely not needed. So I would put a 2 because we need to still hire in some positions. So I would put a 2 there. Staffing, training, and apprenticeship certificate. So you would fill out each of these related to where you are in your growth in the business. So without doing all that, you'd get to the end, you go all the way to the end on all of the 4 phases of business philanthropy. You'd get to the end and you would submit. You would click the submit button by entering all of the fields. Once you do, you would get a report instantly that would come up, and you would be able to click on the link to see your results. And in looking at those results, you would be able to see this. And this is what comes up for us after I actually completed the form earlier before I started the recording. So as you can see here, I've already said what my contact information is, my business details are, and then it gives me a glance of my results by average score for each of the categories with a total score over on the right. So you can kind of see, and we use this information to do a more thorough report before we schedule a one-on-one with you to go over your results and start talking about the future state. And this is where you would do this again, and then you would get your future state and you do a comparison. And based on where you are today in your current state and where you want to be, then you would make the selections on what components of the business philanthropy technology you want to leverage and what funding sources you want, options you want to actually utilize as a part of developing the business to get to your future state. As you just saw, the first step in your journey is to complete the business philanthropy needs assessment. It's important to identify where there are needs and gaps in the business before accessing available funding options, especially for existing businesses. If starting a new conceptual business, then the needs assessment is used to map out the vision, mission, and plan for execution. Let's look at step 2, plan. Step 2. This is a 90-day sprint to validate the concept for a new business and to complete self-directed training for certification. Will you be planning the launch of a product, program, service, the entire business, or the expansion of an existing business? During the 90-day sprint, you will be asked to complete self-directed training via one-on-one and group mentoring sessions. You will engage in the immersive social learning experiences on the online platform. You will also write a one-page business plan and create a practice pitch presentation. And then you will deliver that practice pitch to a group of funders. For example, grant makers, angel investors, and sponsors. Let's look at a sample one-page plan for an existing client. Now I'm going to give you a short demonstration of a one-page business plan. I'm already queued up in my dashboard from earlier. And once you're logged into the platform, you would scroll down past member learning resources and get to the section on toolkits. And you will click the business planning link that is the first link in toolkits. Once you come to this page, there are a number of templates and samples and of different documents that you can actually get access to and start to use as you complete your 90-day sprint. But the one sample and tool in question that we want you to focus on is the one-page plan. There are a number of examples here for the one-page plan, and I'm going to click on the first one because it's related to Oracles of Truth Academy, and that's the one that we did our current state business needs assessment for. As you can see here, it comes up and you can see that Oracles of Truth is listed as the one-page plan. And these are the components of what a one-page plan is. And it is literally one page. So it's the mission, the problem, the solution, target market, competition, sales and channels, marketing activities, revenue that you plan to generate in the first year with your expenses, along with the management team, business infusion, milestones, and investment plan. Those key elements need to be a part of your one-page plan to execute properly and start to rapidly generate revenue to show the value of the business during your practice pitch and your funding pitch. Now, you may be wondering, Dr. Shinshuri, why do you have investment plan here? And Oracles of Truth is a 501c3. Well, yes, Oracles of Truth is the 501c3 as a part of Shinshuri Foundation, which is the larger for-profit that makes Oracles of Truth the division within it. So it's Shinshuri Foundation that has the investment plan, and Oracles of Truth is the product by which Shinshuri makes franchising available on the market. So keep in mind that because we are doing business philanthropy, there is a business component dealing with profits from Shinshuri Foundation, and everything else related to Shinshuri Foundation in terms of its philanthropic work is the largest of the funds that are made available to Oracles of Truth so that it can develop, grow, and thrive. So that is how Shinshuri Foundation does business philanthropy as a social purpose corporation. Step 3. During this step, social entrepreneurs pace to sustainability. This requires focusing on defined professional and business goals to achieve one or more of the following outcomes. 1. Use BP Olympics to build a sustainable business and create intellectual properties, for example, a product, program, or service. 2. Use BP Olympics to become a certified business philanthropist and help others as a mentor or coach. And 3. Generate revenue as an authorized service provider and retain 100% of the earnings. In this third outcome, authorized service provider, it is for social entrepreneurs who want to generate revenue fast without increasing costs to produce IP or build out infrastructure and systems. Social entrepreneurs have access to 25 disciplines that make up the BP Olympics wheel. These disciplines are needed to develop, grow, and thrive in the market. There are 5 standard training events available, which include BP Biathlon, BP Decathlon, BP Heptathlon, BP Pentathlon, and BP Triathlon. Alternatively, you and your team can customize the training event by selecting various disciplines that have been identified as essential to manage and operate the business. To learn more, click the link below to get a free copy of the guidebook, 4 Simple Steps to Grow Your Business and Make a Social Impact. Any social entrepreneur traversing this third step will receive the following. 1. Build capacity with your team. 2. Build an innovative product, program, or service. 3. Develop a platform or system to support operations. 4. Receive one-on-one and group mentoring. 5. Access the online social learning community 24/7. And 6. Receive discounted agile business operations development ABOD services whenever you need it. Alternatively, you and your team may choose to leverage existing systems, tools, and intellectual properties as an authorized service provider to mitigate costs associated with the project innovator and platform developer plans. An outcome of the third step leads to earned income opportunities. The first is the career opportunity for business philanthropists. Learn and earn while completing certification training. Apply marketing strategies with a prospect list and earn base pay. Apply sales strategies with each prospect and earn commission pay. And secure full-time employment after certification. The second is a business opportunity for authorized service providers. Complete authorized service provider training, get an ASP license to launch or expand your mentoring and coaching practice, expand or grow your own team or certified business philanthropist mentors and coaches, and retain 100% of the earnings from all marketing and sales revenue generated in your business. Now I'm going to take time to give a short demonstration of the BP Olympics wheel. And the reason why I want to take a moment to demo it is because it is central to step 3, pace to success. It is through BP Olympics that you will actually spend time building the business and testing things out and running things and measuring and tracking your progress. So with that being said, you log in just like any other time as a member of the community. You would scroll down past member learning resources until you get to the section that says BP Olympics. And you would go straight to the BP Olympics wheel link. And let's do that now. You would click the link and it'll bring you to the BP Olympics page. And here you can see an overview of BP Olympics, the wheel itself, which has the 25 disciplines associated with it, as you can see here, as well as their acronyms. There are 5 training events. There are standard events that are a part of the BP Olympics training, and that is the BP Biathlon, the BP Decathlon, the BP Heptathlon, the BP pentathlon, and the BP triathlon. Each of those are made up of different combination of disciplines that you need based on your growth in the business and what the business needs in order to achieve its future state. We have mapped it out to give the number of disciplines associated with each training event based on your specific needs as you do your needs assessment and identify where you fall. Now, there is an a la carte. So if these standard events don't fit your specific business need, you and your team can actually leverage the BP Olympics wheel and select a la carte those specific disciplines that you need to focus on to map it out for your training event in order to have a more customized learning experience to help you achieve your future state. So that's a little bit about the BP Olympics wheel. I'm not going any further in depth in it because there's additional training where you'll get to learn how to use the BP Olympics wheel. But I did want to give you an opportunity to see what are the 25 disciplines that are associated with the wheel and how you can click on it and see in more depth information about each of the disciplines. But right now, this is a generic BP Olympics wheel, but as you utilize it, you'll be putting in and tracking your progress to show how much of the wheel has been filled in based on your progress through the program and you achieving your goals as a business philanthropist. Every social entrepreneur needs money to develop, grow, and thrive. There are 5 options available to every social entrepreneur with BP technology. Some funding options are available to you while executing the business plan. Then there are others made available after the business concept has been proven or performance outcomes have been achieved to show financial sustainability. Let's take a look at step 4, launch. Step 4. This is where multiple funding sources can be accessed. There are 5 types of funding sources available and include nonprofit and for-profit sources. These funding sources include donations, grants, earned income, partnerships, and sponsorships. Let's discuss each one in more detail with some real case studies and examples. Infused business donations. Social entrepreneurs can use crowdfunding and other donation options to combine giving and business services to support their cause. Here's a case study example. In 2018, I met the founder of Terra Superfoods, Jade Facina. She is a single parent who started her acacia business in the local farmers market. And she opened her first store in Monterey, California during the COVID-19 pandemic. She also utilized the Social Learning Fund to request a donation to support creating job opportunities for undocumented persons and parolees re-entering society. We agreed to partner with Terra Superfoods to provide that workforce development opportunity through our whole person care administration program. And they have since opened a second location, which employs multiple contingent worker trainees coming out of our program. We're excited of the work we're doing with Terra Superfoods because now they're on track to expand into a franchise. I invite you to go to their website and check out all that they're doing to make a difference in the community using business philanthropy. Immersive grant writing. Participate in an immersive grant writing experience. Learn and earn while generating income for your business fast. Here is a cohort example we recently completed. For this cohort example, I'll be discussing more about the immersive grant writing experience that I just completed to submit for the BSCC Adult Reentry Grant. And what I did is I talked with a group of Chi Consortium partners who were a mix of nonprofit, for-profit, and sole proprietors so that we could co-write the grant to raise funds. The philanthropic component of this focused on the priorities of the RFP, which was warm handoff reentry and rental assistance services for adult parolees coming out of state prison over the next 3 years. What is the outcome? Well, we actually successfully completed the application. We wrote the work plan, the budget. All of our budgets were accumulated into one final budget for the application and the grant narrative, and we submitted it within 6 weeks. We're excited about it because this gives us an opportunity to service the parole population who are re-entering society over the next 3.5 years. Earned income. When a social entrepreneur selects to become an authorized service provider, they can access products, programs, and services to resell and retain 100% of the earnings. Authorized service provider options. There are 4 ASP options. 1. Whole person care administration. It is a core license. 2. Business philanthropy accelerator. It is a standalone or add-on license. 3. Rhythmo experience. It's a standalone or add-on license. And 4. Certified Business Philanthropists. It is a certification license. Features and benefits. As an authorized service provider, you can access managed services 90 days to launch and unmanaged services 30 days to launch. This includes 1. Branding your website using our intellectual property assets. 2. Receiving training to support program and service administration and delivery. 3. Receive technical assistance training to generate revenue. And 4. Co-market to increase brand awareness. Collaborative partnerships. This is an integrative funding option. It is used across more than one social learning fund option, example donations, grants, and earned income. Let's discuss an integrated case example. In 2022, we invited the founder of Uniform Resources, Tamika Wright, to be a collaborative partner. It was during the collaborative partnership that we received funding from the California Department of Healthcare Services, and that funding was administered through Sierra Health Foundation. See, the goal of our partnership was to infuse nonprofit activities into Uniform Resources business so that they could take advantage of servicing the same population with us. The outcome from our partnership was that we built out the curriculum, we integrated into our Rhythmo community learning platform, and we administered the program by taking a group of youth and adults to Mount Shasta on a retreat. We then documented it in a small docuseries in order to demonstrate the outcomes and the benefits of the program. What we've done with the funding that we got from California is that we have now produced a robust system that infuses social learning into the experience for social entrepreneurs that are interested in making money while doing good. You can leverage the platforms. And we've gone on a step further and began to build out the Catalyst Leadership Program and their platform for Uniform Resources so that they can do the same thing in the state of Michigan. I'm excited about it, and we welcome you to learn more about our social learning fund and the collaborative partnerships that are included with it. Scale up partnerships. With this funding option, social entrepreneurs pitch to secure funding by demonstrating their unique value proposition and ask for sponsorship or funding support via working capital with the goal to accelerate and grow. In this last case example, I'll be discussing more about Classy Hippie Tea Company. You see, the founder, Gerald Hickman, was one of our first social entrepreneurs in the Business Philanthropist Accelerator back in 2013. He used the accelerator to develop his brand and to make his tea products available to more people in the community by actually building his agricultural framework around manufacturing his own teas in his own backyard. And he created the unique cafe experience that we enjoy today here in Sacramento. He did something quite unique though. He went a step further and he says, how can I, through manufacturing and making my own organic teas, also improve the health and wellness of the community through healing, cultural, and arts? So it's through this unique experience that he makes that possible. And the outcome from him being in our program was that he was able to expand his packaging and distribution. He pitched the value proposition of what he was doing to a number of local investors, and they funded him. And he went on to get larger contracts with the Sacramento International Airport and some other membership funding streams. So he created multiple streams of income by learning how to use business philanthropy in his business. If you want to learn more about Classy Hippie, visit their website at getclassyhippie.com. Subscribe, like, and share to get more content delivered to a mobile device near you. Click the links below to get the free guidebook and schedule an appointment. There's no better time than now to get started. I look forward to working with you.